Hey, VA Nation, Jeff Newton here, National VA Loans powered by Stride Bank. Today I've got my co-host, Josh Buffum, with us. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Like Jeff said, I'm Josh Buffum. This is my 27th year of doing the mortgage business. Before that, I was in the Navy for 4 years. And when I was in the Navy, obviously, I was in the military. But when I got out, there was many benefits that came along with being in the military, and one of them was the VA loan, which is a tremendous lifelong benefit.
Well, for sure, but I don't want to gloss over your Navy experience. That's you and I have been working together and partners together for 16 years now, and you had your Navy experience, and we've had a myriad of experiences throughout the mortgage industry together, with not only with just loans in general, but with VA loans and with veterans. So, number one, I want to thank you for your service for sure. But I do want to get into some of the benefits, because one of the things that you were talking about there, which is something that I think we all kind of need to think about, is when people are getting out of the military, whether it's after 4 years or if it's after 30 years, they don't always know what their benefits are, and a lot of them know health benefits, things like that, but they don't know the real benefit when it comes to home loans. And I think that's one thing that we want to talk about is how the home loan benefit it works for veterans and active duty service members. So, kind of go through a little bit of your experience. I know that you've had experience with both purchase VA as far as for yourself, and then also a cash out VA loan for yourself. So let's why don't we hit on the purchase side of it first, and let's talk about some of the benefits there.
Well, you mentioned when young people get out of the military, sometimes people do a lifetime of service, and they get out as middle-aged adults, but many people, and most people for that matter, get out early in life. So in my case, I was 22 years old, and when I was getting out of the military, they're going over our benefits of what we have and this, that, and the other, and it's not something that you really process very well at 22 years old. I mean, I'd like to think that I understood all my benefits at 22, but I know I didn't.
Let's be honest. You were probably thinking about, okay, where's the closest bar? I'm going to go have a cocktail now that I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of that, I'm sure.
Catching up with your friends and all that kind of stuff was the main thing on your mind. But what over the course of my adulthood, what I've come to find out is one of the best and most useful benefits that you get when you're in the military service is the VA loan. Because the VA loan has been very, very helpful for my family and myself over the course of years. I've done 5 VA loans myself. I've helped hundreds of veterans realize this benefit, but personally I've done 5 loans myself, one of which was a cash-out refinance loan. But the purchase loan, it allows you to get into a house with 100% down with no mortgage insurance, which mortgage insurance is something that lenders put on loans. It has nothing to do with your insurance. It's just because if you don't put 20% down on a loan, the lender fixes mortgage insurance to it, which is an extra cost, which has no true value to the borrower. Matter of fact, it's a negative. But with VA and the VA home loan, you have no mortgage insurance.
Well, and that's there's nothing better than no mortgage insurance, and we're going to get into a little bit more of that. Of course, one thing that I always say is there's, you've done 5 VA loans in your lifetime, right? Okay, so, but that's personal, and that's probably about normal. A person over the lifetime, they're going to do 3 to 5 loans.
I'm not dead yet.
Well, yeah, sorry. I mean, clock's ticking.
I could do a couple more.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's about the normal length, and then you have from on the professional side, you've done hundreds of them, right?
Oh, hundreds.
And so it's amazing that, it's just funny is allow expert people to do or expert work or professional people to do professional work.
Yeah.
It's kind of it rolls back, and we've been saying that for years, but that kind of rolls back into it. And along those lines, that's where you give us a call at 855-956-4040. Talk to any of our VA specialists, any of us, including us, and we're happy to go through the products with you. So that's that's the VA purchase front to back. I mean, again, 30-year fixed plans are out there available for it. 100% financing. There's no money down requirements. The seller can pay up to 4% of the closing costs. Those are just a few more of the real big highlights with the VA purchase. Like I said, it's 100%. Seller can pay up to 4% of closing costs. So
no loan limit.
There is no loan limit, which is crazy because there used to be. You used to have to follow Fannie guidelines almost. And
then anything over that, you had to put 25% down to access the difference.
Yeah.
But now that's not a stipulation.
No, it's
you have to have the income.
Yeah.
There's your loan limit
and
your income.
Exactly. If you've got the income, then your loan limit's been met. So, it's which is awesome. I mean, I love that. And the funding fee, of course, most of us know about the funding fee out there. If you don't have any kind of service-connected disability through the VA, you're going to pay a funding fee. First-time use is 2.15%. Subsequent use, or anytime you've used it multiple times, it's 3.3%. In most cases, that just finances on top. All right, you don't have to come out of pocket with anything additional. It just goes in on the finance side of it. You pay for that basically as you're paying your payment, and then if you do not have a funding fee, of course there is no funding fee, so there's no cost. So we do that through your eligibility through your COE. So, the next loan that I did want to talk about, because this is another loan that you've done, and that's the cash out loan. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I could go on and on about the cash out deal because there's a ton of advantages to it, but. From your personal experience, kind of give us an idea of what you saw there.
Well, my personal experience was the rate environment was extremely low, number one. And so I saw an opportunity to do some home improvements and utilize the equity in my home and lower my interest rate at the same time. And it was really a financial strategy. I had the cash to go ahead and do the home improvements myself, but I decided to use the home equity that I had accumulated and go down in interest rate. And my payment didn't go up at all. Matter of fact, it actually went down with the cash out.
It's amazing how that works. We're in a rate environment right now where people that bought homes, let's say in 2020, 2021, even at the early part of 2022, number one, they've had lower interest rates, some of them sub 3%. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, they have gained tens of thousands of dollars in equity over the course of these last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, the house appreciation in the last 5 years has been exponential. Now, a lot of people have captured a low interest rate, but that doesn't mean they didn't accumulate credit card debt during that time. And as we all know, credit card debt can be, kind of problematic when it comes to interest rate.
For sure, and not only that is you'll see. Okay, so. Really what we're trying to talk about is the benefits of the VA, the cash out. And listen, everyone's situation is different. Everyone, no matter who it is. I mean, we've been doing this for, it feels like thousands of years now. And have you ever seen two the same situation?
No.
I mean, very rare.
Everybody's situation.
Everyone's different. So, but what we're talking about is using, and something that we talk about at National VA and Stride Bank a lot is using your house as a financial tool, using your home and your home loan as a financial tool. And
probably the most important investment you'll have.
Really, it is. Unless you bought NVIDIA at $80 a share and you put in $20,000, then that's the most important investment. Or Bitcoin, yeah. Either one of those. Trust me. But how many times have we gone back and looked to see if we actually did buy the Bitcoin back in 2010 when we thought we did? Yeah, a lot. $100 for the Bitcoin in 2010, and you'd be a trillionaire right now. Yeah, anyway, it's a different story. So, but the cash out. So when you look at it at granular level, so you say, okay, in 2020 or 2021, I bought this house and I got 2.5% or 2.75% interest rate. Wow, I bought it for $300,000, and now all of a sudden it's worth $440,000 over the last 4 years. Which, by the way, folks, that's amazing. And I don't know how the market will shift on that. You have a housing shortage with the low interest rates, and now you have higher interest rates. You still have a housing shortage, though. There's still not enough houses out there.
It's not affecting house prices.
No,
they're holding steady
and going up, continually going up. So. you've got to, at certain points, you've got to weigh, in 2020, again, in 2020, 2021, 2022, there was a lot of opportunities for 0% interest credit cards or these promotional specials. I talk about this because I had a promotional special on a card, and then all of a sudden it was getting ready to end. I'm like, oh my God, look at the interest they're getting ready to tack back onto this thing. So
back from the start.
It comes all the way back from the start. It's not new. It's accrued.
Yeah, they don't talk about that. They just put it in a little fine print.
Yeah, fine print that no one reads, and really you should. But I mean, neither here nor there. We've all been in those situations. So you've racked up a little bit of credit card debt. We've seen the nation's credit card debt go up over $1.3 trillion, which is scary. Just being honest. I mean, it's high. So that cash out refinance, that equity that you've built in your home, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've put a little bit of effort into it, but in reality, the market has what's brought you up.
Yeah.
So if you can utilize those funds to pay off debt that may be high interest debt, maybe fixed rate debt, maybe credit card debt, maybe car loan debt, I'd say student loan debt, but hell, the government's going to pay them off for you. Just hold on tight. I mean, eventually those will go away. But, whatever debt it may be that's higher interest, even if you're going to increase the interest rate on your current mortgage, what you can do is number one, you're going to save money. Okay, that's one of the things that we need to focus on the most is you're going to save money on the outgoing out of your pocket every month. What's coming out of my pocket, right? That's what's the most important dollar? The dollar I'm pulling out of my pocket to give to you. That's the most important one. So how much am I doing on that every month? And if I can save myself money there, then allow your VA specialists, the National VA and Stride Bank, allow them to say, okay, look, you're going to save $1,000 a month. Now let me show you how I can get this back over into your mortgage to pay it off sooner so your effective rate is back to where you were at. Because if you take that $1,000 and you take $800 of it and you go to biweekly payments and you're at 6.75% and you came from 2.5%, but you're saving $1,000 and you're throwing $800 back at it and you're splitting it into biweekly payments, now you paid your house off in 11 years.
Yeah.
Or 10 years. And now you look at what your effective interest rate is and it's lower than what you're paying now. Yeah. I know that we just went through that really quick. I know we did.
Well, I mean, it brings us to the next subject, really, because, okay, so if you do happen to capture the current interest rate and consolidate debt and save your family lots of money a month, hundreds of dollars probably, and the rate environment gets lower again, then you can do what's called an IRRRL, which is basically a streamlined refinance for a lower interest rate.
I got to say, if our production crew, that goes in and edits these videos, make sure that we don't look any worse than we already do, make sure it sounds good. If they don't play a little Earl Has to Die during that segment, I'm going to be a little disappointed. I'm talking to you, Jason. I'm talking to you. So you better add that in there. And we'll see if he even listens to all these things,
Right, yeah, well, that's a good test.
There you go, see? But no, an Earl. Real quick, back to the cash out. I just had one quick example.
Oh.
So, and it is the loan that we just closed. Actually, it's closing today. And she's gonna come. She wants to come on and do a testimonial. That's how happy she was. She damn near drove from Clarksville, Tennessee, to give me a hug because she was so excited that we're actually getting closed. But we're saving her $1,200 a month, and yes, her interest rate's going up 4 points, but we're saving her $1,200 a month. We're putting $50,000 in her pocket. Saving her $1,200 a month, she's going to apply $800. That's where that 800 number came from earlier. She's going to apply $800 of it back. She's going to pay it off in just a little under 10 years. And still save $200 a month. Why does the interest rate matter? The interest rate is now down. But in case, like Josh was just saying, the VA IRRRL. The VA IRRRL is another product of the VA that is probably, well, I'll say it this way. We'd both still have full heads of hair if all we did was VA IRRRLs. Because they are simple. All right?
Simple for the borrower.
They're simple for us. They're simple for you, and that's the best part about it. So let's kind of dive into it a little bit, real quick about the VA IRRRL. The way it works is you currently have a VA loan, and let's call it you get your VA loan in the last couple of years, and your current interest rate is 7%. Okay, so you currently have a VA loan of 7%. Over the course of the next 6, 12, 18, 24, whatever the case may be, that rate is going to dip down. the VA IRRRL, you're allowed to do a VA IRRRL, which is the interest rate reduction refinance loan. You're allowed to do that loan if you can save at least 0.5% in interest rate and also recoup any costs that are associated with the loan, recoup those fees from your savings within 36 months. They put those guidelines in there because there's a lot of scumbag loan officers out there. Or there used to be. I think a lot of them got out of the business over the years. There used to be a lot of guys churning, yes. They'd call you up and they'd save you 0.25%, when in reality they could have saved you a point. And then they call you 2 months later and they're going to save you another 0.25%. And those things happened all the time, and that's kind of gotten out of the way. We don't see that as often anymore. The VA put another stipulation too, 210 days.
Yeah.
You've got 210 days from the first payment on the current loan. But, I mean, the documentation on these loans is
minuscule.
It's almost nothing. No appraisal required.
None.
No income required. We just state the income. I know, stated income. We haven't done that in a long time. But VA IRRRL is a great loan for the veteran.
Make your payments on time.
Yes, make your payments on time. That's the stipulation. Have you made your payments on time? Are you saving at least 50 basis points, so 0.5% on your interest rate, and are you recouping any costs within 36 months? As long as you're doing those things, you're going to qualify for the VA IRRRL. And it's, like I said, it's a great loan. It's a 10 business day loan. It's a 2-week loan, as long as everything moves like normal and there's no weirdness in there from a title company or something like that. It's a pretty quick process. That VA IRRRL, folks, I really, again, call any of our VA specialists here, 855-956-4040, or check us out online, nationalvaloans.com, or go in and apply at nationalapplynow.com. Any of the time's going to come, we're going to see these rates. What we always said, you marry the house, you date the rate. Okay, well, your date's getting ready to end because we're going to have a new date here soon. We're going to see rates come down a little bit.
Those closing costs are super low as well, because the funding fee is only 0.5 point.
That's a great point. The funding fee is only 0.5%, which is just tacked onto the top. You don't have to worry about coming out of pocket with that, but it's only 0.5% versus the 3.3% that it would be on a typical subsequent.
Like you said, with no appraisal, that lowers the cost as well.
Absolutely, and if let's say you did your loan a year ago and you didn't do it with us. If you just have your paperwork and it shows who your title company was, we'll call your title company that did your purchase, and we'll see if we can get you some discounts on the charges. Am I guaranteeing it? Nope. There's the disclaimer. There's our fine print. Can't guarantee we can save you any money, but we will at least make an attempt because we're not married to any title company. We're not like a lot of the companies that are out there that also own a title company. We don't do that. So
now, if you did close with us, we will save you some money.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But the VA IRRRL is a fantastic loan. Again, if you have any more questions about the VA IRRRL, VA cash out, or the purchase, give any of our VA specialists here a call, 855-956-4040. The last two loans that we want to talk about through the VA are more specialty loans. Of course, you can still call any of our VA specialists here, and we all can talk intelligently about them. We all know how they work throughout the process. We do have a couple guys that we have kind of deemed our specialists in-house for the VA renovation and also the VA construction loan. So while you'll be able to talk to any of our VA specialists, 855-956-4040, we will eventually guide you into that direction because we want to make sure you have a great experience. So let's just hit the VA renovation first. Number one, I love all renovation loans, all of them. I think they're great. I think the amount of people that have the money just set aside to be able to do renovations they want to do, I think that level of person is fewer and further between now. So I think the VA being able to give you an opportunity to go in and do renovation on your home is huge. So let's kind of touch on what some of the renovation stuff that you can do on a house.
Well, obviously you can do the beautification things.
Correct.
Which is, new flooring, painting, cabinetry, things that are more aesthetic. But also you can do construction. So you can actually take a house and change it, make it different. You can grab it from a point of deferred maintenance on the market and actually rehabilitate the house and make it your own. on a VA loan, which is 100%.
Yeah, 100. That's what I was gonna say. The best part is it's 100%, and that's what's really cool.
With no
about
mortgage insurance.
Yeah, with zero mortgage insurance, and if you have any disability through the VA, zero funding fee, which is another really big benefit to that aspect of it. But you hit on something there. You could take a house that, I mean, I just want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine this. So you're out looking at homes, and a lot of us have been in this situation where we've been out looking at homes, and we're like, gosh dang it, man, the location is perfect, the size is perfect, but God, that kitchen's awful, and oh my God, that bathroom, I can't even imagine taking a shower in that thing. Mm-hmm. You know, and the carpet, it looks like they had 3 dogs for 30 years, and they never ran a vacuum. I mean, we've all been there, right? I mean, I'm sure if you got your eyes closed right now, you can picture that house that you've walked into.
The HVAC system's not up to stuff.
Yeah, it's got asbestos in the basement. I mean, who knows what it is?
Indeed.
But this VA renovation loan will allow you to go in. You can use your design, your imagination, your creativity to look at a kitchen and be like, okay, I want to strip this out here. Let's get new cabinets here, or let's put the new flooring in here, and this countertop will look good. And I want this deep sink in here, and these appliances. Yes, you can include appliances on this. Or the bathroom. I mean, same thing. Vanity, shower, stool. I mean, the whole nine. You can do all of it. The flooring in there.
I mean, you may find a house that you really don't like hardly anything about, but you love the neighborhood, you love the schools, the neighbor. You may be familiar with neighbors, and you can take that house and make it your own.
Yeah, I mean, which is pretty damn cool. And again, did you mention it's 100%?
That's 100%.
It's
with no mortgage insurance.
With no mortgage insurance. And guys, it's pretty awesome.
And it's still eligible for an IRRRL down the road as well. So, I mean, you always can change your interest rate, no matter what the current interest rate environment is. Get into the house, buy it right, make it your own, do it at 100%, and then IRRRL it later to a lower interest rate.
Exactly. We can go in and we can use the IRRRL to lower your interest rate and save you money. As it just makes sense. I mean, it is a great loan, and I'll tell you right now, real estate agents, a lot of them don't know about it because they just don't understand that product, and they just never heard of that product. And I mean, and not so much here in our market, in our Kansas City market, we see a little bit more that they know about the renovation, and they're interested in doing it because they can see how it helps them sell houses. I mean, I'm just telling you, it does. It'll help a real estate agent sell houses. And as a buyer, it's going to help you find something. I mean, you can be a little bit more picky. You can look at, okay, well, I want to be in this area, even though I don't like the way this house looks.
Yeah,
I can change it. I can paint it. I can do this. I mean, there's just a lot of things you can do with it. So the VA renovation, again, give us a call, 855-956-4040. That's the best way to get a hold of anyone and ask questions, because if you consider renovation, you've probably gotten, if you've talked to anyone else about it, any other lenders, they've probably given you the bad of it because they don't want to do it, and they don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a property that you desire, but it's not a desirable property, but you want the area, you want the community, you want the schools, it's a great option because it basically makes that house exactly what you want.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of making a house is exactly what you want, that's where the VA one-time closed construction loan comes in. Yes, VA does have a construction loan, and believe me, when they told me that, it was like 5 years ago when we started looking at these, and I'm like, wait a minute. You can do a construction from ground up, buying the land, using, and no money down? Yes, you can. You can do it at 100% financing. This loan is so involved. There's so much to it that it's really, really hard to even break it all out on a video of any kind, to be honest with you. But it is awesome. I mean, we close these all the time, but we've had customers that came to us and said, hey, look, we don't own land. We don't know where the hell we want to live.
Nobody else is doing these.
No one. Yeah, that's one we get a lot. No one else will do these. And I'm like, yeah, no, we know no one else will do them. And it's not because they can't. It's because they don't know how, and they aren't willing to learn.
Yeah. It's involved.
It is very involved.
But it's such a benefit.
And if you got a pit bull on this side of it working for you, I assure you it will get done. We close these constantly, and we've got a couple guys, like I said, that are specialists when it comes to these renovations and the one-time close, and they'll make them happen. All the way from, I mean, we're closing a one that was $1 million this month. We're closing one, and then two of them that were over $750,000. So there's not a real big. I mean, 1.5 million is your limit on the one-time close construction. But can you build a house for 1.5? I bet you probably can figure it out.
Most markets.
Yeah, you probably even have a slide in your pool. I bet. So, but it does cover the land, so you can even get in on the land, the entire build, and possibly do it with nothing down as far as that. Now you're gonna have closing costs, escrows, things like that, but you're gonna have nothing as a down payment. So, and that's just really the gist of that one-time close. You can build it where you want. I mean, there's a few states. Trust me, it doesn't work. Hawaii. Sorry, we're not gonna be able to do any one-time closes in Hawaii.
Now call the experts.
Yeah.
We'll educate you.
Exactly. We'll help you figure it out. Just give us a call, 855-956-4040. Or, I feel like I don't say it enough, but our nationalvaloans.com, that's a great place to get all the information on all the different types of VA loans right in there. There's rundowns, there's videos of each one of them, and rundowns of each one of them too. So, well, I tell you what, man, I think we kind of hit everything.
Yeah.
Briefly.
The only thing that I feel like we need to touch on is I've had a few customers, younger people who are just starting out. They've got out of military service. They found themselves a good job. They're in a good situation as far as income. They're making money. They're on the way up. They get into their first house. They own it. They've been in there a year. And then they decide, well, hey, maybe I want to upgrade my house. Well, after talking to them a little bit and seeing that they have discretionary income, and I've actually had situations where I encourage them to just maintain and keep the original house and go ahead and use your VA eligibility to buy another house because you have eligibility left. And so I've had customers that have multiple houses on VA loans because their eligibility allowed for it. So that's another financial strategy to build wealth, because nothing will build wealth quicker than having multiple properties earning you rent.
100%, and it's amazing how. And look, if I hope we turn this portion of this into a short, because this is one of the biggest things that people need to understand is you can own more than one property.
People don't know this.
I know, it drives me insane.
I've had to educate many of my clients on that.
Well, I wish someone would educate some of the loan officers that people talk to. Well, I talked to this loan officer.
I mean, if they don't work here, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But it is frustrating because guys, you can do it with zero down. And even let's say you have your entitlements being used, you can do it with a minimal amount down still. I mean, there's ways, there's calculations for this. Please call any of our specialists here. We all know the calculations. We all know how this works. Here's case in point. I've got a borrower right now that he and his future wife, they're getting ready to get married. They're in Texas. The house that they want is about $600,000. Okay. He had some job changes. We aren't able to utilize all of his income because of job changes. He's not going to get his bonus until he's been there a year. Once I can calculate the bonus in, the bonus is pretty big. So once I can calculate that in, he's going to afford the $600,000 house. So we were talking the other day, and he's obviously pretty disappointed. He really wants to buy a house, and I understand that. I'm with him. But I told him, I said, you can't afford $600,000 right now, but you could afford $300,000. He's like, yeah, but the $300,000 houses, it's not really what I'm looking for. I said, I know it's not what you're looking for, but what if you did it for a year? What if you bought that house and you lived in it for a year? And then after your year's up and you're going to be qualified, you can now upgrade to your new house, and you keep that house. You charge rent, you make money.
Precisely.
Now you go buy your new house, and he goes, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I said, well, most people wouldn't think about that.
Well, they just think it's not feasible. They
don't
think they can get it done, make it happen.
Exactly. And that's what he said. I said, well, that's why I won't say his name. He watches our videos all the time, but he's just like, man, I never would have thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of people wouldn't. I said, but I'll be honest with you, that's why you call us at National VA and Stride Bank at 855-956-4040. I mean, we are very, very good at thinking outside the box and figuring out ways to make things work. We've got about 200 years worth of mortgage experience in this office, which makes me
don't age us, Jeff.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It happens fast enough.
Yeah, but we've been through all of it. I mean, we've seen it all. So Again, give us a call, 855-956-4040. Check us out online at nationalvaloans.com. Or if you are proactive and just like getting done, then go to nationalapplynow.com and fill out your mortgage application there. It's all secure through our LMA servers. You'll download an app. It'll be yours forever. You'll be able to do everything you want on there, access all your loan files, all your information right from that application, that Stride Home app. Josh, thank you, man. We're going to do more of these.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fun.
You know, my videos that set to my desk, I mean, those are quickie videos, but we'll knock these out. I like this. Maybe we'll even have a little more little side topics instead of just the the VA. Yeah, I got tons of shit I could talk about. So tons of stuff I could talk about right now, but we'll get to that at a later time. That'll be on our VA Nation podcast.
Okay.
All right, which is coming soon, so be ready for that. It's going to be a great one. We're excited about it. But man, thank you for being here. We will we'll do more of these.
My pleasure.
I think we're going to go over the VA loan process here pretty soon, kind of more in depth, and you know, try to point out some of those potholes that are out there in the world. So, guys, until next time, thank you for your service. Thank you for all you've done for our country. God bless and take care of yourself.